Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a wonderful Wednesday so far. Today, we are going to be bringing you an absolutely massive Cardano update video. Today is the day that JED, the algorithmic stablecoin launched by Coty, has officially gone on testnet, and we're going to be showing you guys the testnet, how you can take part in it, and really explaining what JED is, or DJED. The D, of course, is silent, as everyone likes to keep reminding me, but really explain what this stablecoin is, how it works, and why it is going to be and have such a massive impact in regards to Cardano and its ecosystem. Because essentially now, if you're looking to get out of Cardano into some safe assets during market volatility or something like that, you no longer have to sell on an exchange. In fact, you can just swap it or burn ADA for JED, and then of course redeem it at a later date. So I think this is going to take a huge amount of sell pressure off the table, and I often wonder how this is going to affect the likes of stake pools and stuff like that often have to sell the Cardano that they get for running a stake pool to cover taxes and various other things. So this is huge, something I'm super excited about. We're not just going to be talking about this, we'll be going over a number of different things. You guys know that we did a Cardano video yesterday where we gave our outlook for, the short-term outlook that we have. And ultimately, I can still see downward continuation for the cryptocurrency market in general. We've spoken about Bitcoin, and we speak about Bitcoin daily in our cryptocurrency market updates, which are well worth a watch, ladies and gentlemen, because not only do we cover the cryptocurrency market, but we cover the sort of macroeconomic landscape and everything going on with it, and how that is weighing very heavily on our tiny space's shoulders. So let's get straight into it, guys. This tweet reads, from Coty, the people who are the issuers of JED stablecoin, when JED. Now, we are excited to announce that the JED public stablecoin is now released. We invite you to test the platform by minting and burning JED and of course, this is the website link. Learn how, and they have a Medium post that they have, of course, released accompanying this. So they actually tell you what JED is, how it works. I'll give my own little brief explanation, and then actually how you can take part with the testnet. So you will need to get some testnet ADA. You will need to configure your NAMI wallet. You can see I've already got 1,000 ADA in here. I do believe, actually, funnily enough, as I'm filming this video, that the actual minting of JED is currently unavailable. And, it's something that we'll revisit. But I'll talk you through the process, and hopefully you guys can sort of go step by step through it all, and also explain what JED is. So essentially, once you've got your testnet ADA, there is a video explaining all of this. And showing you exactly how to do it. So first thing to do, guys, come over to their Twitter, lock into this, and then go over to their Medium post, read through it, and then watch the videos associated with it. Not only do they tell you what JED is, how it works, how it is going to be stable and pegged to $1, and what the mechanics are around that, but also how to use the testnet. But I'll give you a brief intro myself. So you'll need to get some testnet ADA. You'll need to send it to your NAMI wallet. You can see I'm using a NAMI wallet here that I have spare. And I've got a 1,000 testnet ADA in there. And then you'll need to come over here, and you'll have two options. You'll be able to mint JED or mint Shen, and they'll both require ADA. First thing you're going to have to do is connect your wallet. Click access, and then you're connected. And then, of course, you're going to need to click mint Cardano, mint JED. Currently, it's unable to mint, but you can burn on the other side of things, and that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to mint JED. So one JED is worth $1. So if one ADA is $1, you're going to get one JED in return. Just to keep, I know one ADA isn't currently $1, but if that was the case, then for every one ADA you gave, you'd get $1. So whatever the price is, for every $1 worth of ADA that you burn, essentially, or you mint JED with, you'll get one JED in return, and then you can, of course, come over and burn it. And I think one thing that people get quite confused about is, okay, well, if, for example, you have $100 worth of ADA, you mint JED with it, so you basically give over your ADA to the JED JED protocol. What happens? How is it a stable coin if the price of ADA, let's say, for example, halves? Well, this is when their other product comes in handy, the Shen Reserve Coin. So what this does is it's kind of like a governance and a beneficiary of the Djed stablecoin, is when you mint this, so you can see over here, very simple to do, guys. All you do is connect your wallet and just try it out on the testnet. Please go and read that Medium article and also watch some of their videos on it because they probably explain it a lot better than I do. But Shen essentially is like the governance protocol, the reserve coin, if you will, of the Djed stablecoin. So back to the question, if we have 100 Cardano, which is worth $1 each, we can swap that for 100 Djed. Well, what happens if the price of ADA drops? How does the stable coin then maintain its peg? Well, this is where Shen comes in and actually tops up. So it will contribute if Cardano is what was $1 each and you had 100 of them, $100, now goes down to $50. Shen will step in and back that stable coin up, if that makes sense. So it will always be, it's an algorithmically done, pegged to $1 theoretically, providing nothing goes wrong, and there is always room for something go wrong. And I'll be looking to mint Shen myself because you'll also be a beneficiary of whatever happens in, you'll benefit from the fees, you'll benefit from a number of things, and the more that gets sort of locked in here, theoretically, the higher the price of Shen will go. So this is something I'll definitely be keeping you guys up to date with. But this is huge. Stable coins coming to Cardano. We know we already have them on the Wing Riders decks, and they utilize the Milkamida bridge. We've got Wing Riders video coming out shortly for you guys. Great team, really passionate about what they do, and have certainly backed by Vacuum Labs, which have a very long-standing history within the Cardano ecosystem. But this is going to be the first kind of Cardano native stablecoin to hit the network. And I often compare Djed with the likes of USDT, which is TERRA stablecoin, which currently has $18.7 billion in terms of market cap. More than half of Cardano's market. I mean, these guys are right next to each other. Cardano doesn't even have 10 billion more in terms of market cap than the likes of Terra's UST, sorry. And when you understand, this is Terra's ecosystem, or I can certainly find that for you now, with 29. So Terra in its ecosystem alone actually has more in terms of total value locked than the entire market cap of Cardano. Guys, in yesterday's video, we did say, and I think people think I'm bearish on Cardano. No. I'm extremely bullish. Short term, I just think that it's whatever. We go with the market generally. And if I think there's more downside for the market, Cardano is going to get rolled up in that. But we will come back eventually. We looked at a number of schematics yesterday and spoke about a number of things in great detail, talking about how I think this plays out. And I think the lower this goes, the more excited I'm essentially getting, because Cardano isn't going anywhere. And we're going to lead into the Fox Business interview that Charles gave yesterday, and how the lady who was essentially giving this interview introduced Cardano as, one of the most advanced blockchains there is. And that's why I'm such a fan of ADA. Yes, we know they've been slow to market with a number of things, and there's a lot of criticism there, but ultimately it's an amazing blockchain. And I think that's going to become more and more undeniable, in the same way that the haters are just getting stomped on from point to point as it really starts to prove itself. So this is something that I'm super excited about. Again, Djed, USDT, if you go and look at these protocols, the majority of them are Terra stablecoins. The majority of value locked in here is from Terra and its stablecoins, or UST, sorry, I should say. Same thing's about to happen with Cardano, which only has 270 million in terms of market cap. What do you think happens when we get a huge influx of stablecoins? Not only that, there's going to be a massive amount of sell pressure that's going to be taken off the table, because essentially you will no longer have to sell your Cardano. You can come and get it for essentially swap it for a stable coin and then redeem it for your ADA later on down the line. And how that will work is, of course, one Djed was only ever going to be worth $1 theoretically. So if Cardano goes up in price, if you deposit it when it's $1 and it goes to $2, you're going to get half an ADA back. So I hope that kind of makes sense what I'm talking about here. This is huge, and please come and play around with it, because not only is it good for you guys to see how this will work, it's very, very similar to Terra stablecoin, actually, UST. But it's also going to be great to give Coty feedback. I'm actually going to be looking to pick some Coty up, to be honest with you. I think if this goes lower, I'll be absolutely aping into it. Because stablecoins, I think, are one of the new, stablecoins are going to be huge. We have the likes of BlackRock in USDC. BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world, and they're the main custodial for USDC. That kind of gives you a direction in just how big and how much interest there is in the likes of stablecoins. So I'll be looking to absolutely ape into Coty. But if I think the overall market's going to go lower, for reasons that we've spoken about, to great length now. You know, ultimately, I'm going to look and wait for the opportunity to present itself. And again, in terms of volatility, you know, the fact that we have the JED is massively significant because it will essentially enable people to not have to liquidate their Cardano and in actual fact almost borrow against it. And I know there's also great tax reasons for potentially doing that in terms of not having to incur capital gains, but that's still being kind of refined and worked on. We spoke about the price in great detail yesterday. You guys know my plan or my sort of outlook. You know, ultimately my suspicion is that any pump that we get, we've got the Fed talking, I think, in about an hour or just under an hour, around about 50 minutes. Any pump that we get, I think, is going to be somewhat short-lived and really kind of washed up with the overall macro environment and how that's looking very risk-off, and like we've got more risk-off to come. You know, Bitcoin's in a very critical place and so on and so forth. And I think we have to sort of rebuild and go over somewhat of a cycle that I think we're currently on. Last but not least, guys, Charles Hoskinson, of course, did an interview on Fox Business yesterday. Because this, of course, video is by Fox, I don't want to play too much of it, but I'll certainly play the introduction to how she introduced Charles and Cardano.
Joining me right now is IO Global CEO and Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson. IO Global is the company behind Cardano, the world's most advanced blockchain. Charles, great to have you. Thanks so much.
Wow. We will see if it actually is the most advanced blockchain, but Charles spoke about a number of fantastic things in this interview. He spoke about the evolution of blockchain, which is why we're actually such a fan of Cardano, because I do believe it is a third-gen blockchain, Bitcoin being first-gen, Ethereum coming out of Ethereum being second-gen, and now you have the likes of ADA, which tackled the kind of blockchain trilemma in a different peer-reviewed kind of manner. Yes, they've been late to market, but I think that's going to pay off in the long run. So that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. If you have, of course, enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. Please go and try out the JED testnet, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gents.